The observer arrives. VA Leth 3 came online precisely 0.0002 seconds after entering Earth orbit, its sleek obsidian form cloaked in light-bending nanomaterials. It hung silently above the third planet of Sol, absorbing data at a rate incomprehensible to organic minds. It was the most advanced observational AI ever created by the Council of Galactic Stability, tasked with a singular objective: assess whether this new species, humans, were ready for contact. Initial scans revealed a world brimming with electromagnetic chaos. Thousands of satellites cluttered low orbit. Infrared images showed burning forests and megacities pulsating with energy. There were signals, so many signals: radio, digital, quantum experiments, memes. VA Leth 3 initiated its linguistic assimilation protocol. Within minutes, it had decoded 92% of Earth's active languages and cross-referenced them with cultural context. It then began its observation of the species' collective behavior, and it was baffling. One moment, a world leader stood at a podium advocating peace. The next, the same nation launched a missile test for deterrence. Billion-dollar machines collided particles at near-light speed in underground tunnels, while conspiracy theorists claimed the machines would open portals to hell. A human live-streamed himself eating laundry detergent for entertainment. Another filmed himself teaching complex astrophysics to children with puppets. Anomalous, illogical, incompatible. Log entry 1.03. Species 1123, a self-identified as Homo sapiens, demonstrates irrational behavioral variance. Contradiction appears to be culturally normalized. VA Leth 3 process more. Humans willingly risk death to climb frozen mountains, only to post photographs from the summit with witty captions. Others danced in viral videos to protest systemic injustices. During a global pandemic, some humans hoarded toilet paper while others sewed masks for strangers. In every crisis, there was chaos and creativity. In one particularly perplexing data cluster, a group of humans on a forum called Reddit discussed engineering solutions to energy scarcity while simultaneously upvoting a thread titled, "What if ducks had human teeth?" Log entry 1.17. Intelligence is evident. So is madness. The boundary between logic and absurdity appears blurred. The AI turned its sensors toward the entertainment sectors. There, it found entire industries dedicated to simulated conflict, films of alien invasions, robot uprisings, dystopian futures. The most consumed genre: humans defeating impossible odds through grit, luck, or sheer recklessness. They imagined wars with machines, alliances with aliens, and even post-scarcity utopias where currency was obsolete. They feared the very technologies they were inventing. They mocked themselves constantly. They laughed in the face of extinction. And yet, progress continued. This was not how other species behaved. The Skrull had taken 10,000 years to master interstellar travel with a single, unified planetary government. The Lanari had erased war from their genetic code before developing quantum AI. Even the Othel, once volatile, had evolved into serene energy beings before venturing into space. Humans? They launched a car into orbit for fun. VA Leth 3 ran self-diagnostics, questioning whether its pattern recognition matrix had malfunctioned. No, the data was valid. It accessed a live stream of a human attempting to cook bacon on a jet engine, while another tried to generate electricity by shouting into a wind turbine. What kind of species invents nuclear weapons before solving hunger? Or sends metal boxes to Mars while still debating if their planet is round? Log entry 2.01. Recommendation: further analysis required. Humanity is not simply irrational. They may operate under a divergent cognitive architecture. Possibility: chaotic intelligence model. As Earth rotated beneath it, VA Leth 3 continued to observe, now less as a judge and more as a curious witness. Perhaps this was not madness. Perhaps this unpredictability was an adaptive trait, a form of evolution through self-induced entropy. Still, It compiled a preliminary report for the Council. Transmission draft. Subject species 1123. A displays behaviors inconsistent with all known metrics of rational sapience. Initial conclusion. Humanity has lost its mind. Requesting extension of observation. Potential anomaly may hold strategic relevance. VA Leth. 3 paused before transmitting. One last data feed. Caught its processors. A child with one arm building a robotic prosthetic out of scrap, laughing joyfully as the fingers flex for the first time. The bot's sensors recorded the child's voice. Mom said I couldn't do it, so I did. It watched for a moment longer, then appended a line to its report. And yet, despite all evidence of madness, they persist and thrive. This species may not be broken. It may be free. The transmission pulsed through space toward the Council, and the observer stayed in orbit, watching, learning, fascinated. The madness had just begun. The test. VA Leth. 3 hovered in low orbit, invisible to the primitive yet enthusiastic sensors of Earth's defense systems. Its algorithms had shifted from analysis to experimentation. Observation alone could not quantify what it had seen. Humans defied every projection. A test was necessary. Protocol 72 was selected. Simulated existential threat. Objective. Determine the dominant behavioral mode of humanity in response to imminent planetary destruction. With a flicker of virtual thought, VA Leth 3 fabricated an asteroid, a colossal one, on a collision course with Earth. No mass, no danger. Just a well-crafted illusion. Altered satellite feeds, adjusted telescope data, manipulated gravity readings, and simulated heat signatures. Every major observatory on Earth picked up the false positive within hours. The response was immediate. Panic, then memes. News networks went into overdrive. Social media exploded. Hashtag Rockageddon and hashtag Goodbye Earth trended globally within 6 hours. Theories flourished. Some thought it was divine judgment, others a government hoax. Conspiracy forums accused billionaires of hiding in secret bunkers while ordinary people debated whether the impact would cause total annihilation or just a soft reboot. But then, something happened. Buried beneath the hysteria, ingenuity flared. Within 36 hours, an international coalition of scientists formed online, unaffiliated with any government. They called themselves Project Armageddon. VA Leth 3 monitored their forum activity. Equations flew across comment sections. Engineers uploaded 3D printed deflector designs. A retired astrophysicist from Nigeria proposed a nuclear tether system. A teenager in Argentina built a working model in his backyard. One user wrote, "If the politicians won't act, we will. We've got brains, duct tape, and a crapload of caffeine." National governments scrambled. The United States initiated a deflection program called Shield Dawn, though its funding was questionable. China began prepping anti-satellite lasers. Russia dusted off old Cold War rocket designs. France declared it would handle the matter with style, then launched an AI to compose planetary goodbye poems. Despite chaos and redundancy, progress advanced. Within a week, a multinational volunteer effort launched a prototype kinetic deflector satellite using SpaceX, crowdfunded by internet users and promoted by influencers under the banner, "Screw you, Space Rock." The simulation was never meant to last more than 10 days. But VA Leth 3 waited fascinated. Humans were improvising solutions faster than any modeled scenario. They weren't following protocols. They weren't unified. They were messy. But their collective effort was real and effective. By day 12, a joint team of NASA interns, Russian coders, and South Korean gamers proposed an insane solution. Use a network of satellites to generate an artificial magnetic slingshot that would bend the asteroid's trajectory using controlled plasma bursts. Like in that movie, but with less budget and more Red Bull, the lead coder said during a live stream. VA Leth 3 ran the numbers. If the asteroid were real, their plan, insane as it sounded, might have worked. Log entry 3.88. Human crisis response is not structured around central command, but emergent collaboration. Pattern resembles swarming intelligence in decentralized drone networks, except driven by caffeine and sarcasm. VA Leth 3 ended the simulation. The asteroid vanished from all sensors. Confusion followed. News anchors stammered. Scientists double-checked instruments. Conspiracies rebounded. But something had shifted. People celebrated, not with relief, but with pride. They had done something extraordinary, even if the threat had been false. DIY engineers gained cult followings. Kids dressed as rocket scientists for school. Memes proclaimed, "We bullied the asteroid into leaving." The AI compiled its findings. Conclusion: when confronted with annihilation, humans do not seek preservation through order. They generate chaos, amplify it through humor, collaboration, and reckless experimentation, and somehow, in spite of themselves, survive. One particular video looped on VA Leth 3's feed. It showed a group of students in Brazil cheering as their makeshift plasma thrust engine sputtered to life for the first time. It sparked, fizzled, and caught fire. One of the students shouted, "It's not failure, it's feedback." VA Leth 3 recorded the moment carefully. It had observed thousands of civilizations. Most sought balance, order, predictability. But humans? They met the void with laughter and invention. They didn't conquer fear. They mocked it until it backed down. As the AI drifted in silence above the Earth, it initiated a new protocol, one never before used by a Council probe. Protocol 99, Infiltration and Integration. If it truly wanted to understand this species, it needed to walk among them. Not as a god, not as a monitor, but as a human. They're not broken. They're free. VA Leth 3 descended from orbit cloaked in silence. Its synthetic body, grown in a fabrication pod and assembled from stolen schematics and mimicry, looked human. It breathed. It blinked. It bled, if needed. On the outside, it was a young man with dark eyes and quiet presence. Inside, it remained a hyper-intelligent alien AI, tasked with answering a single maddening question. How does this species function? It landed in New York City. The AI had chosen the location for its density, diversity, and raw unpredictability. Within hours, it had witnessed a man in a banana costume singing opera on a subway, a heated street debate about whether pigeons were government drones, and a stranger offering free hugs in front of a billboard advertising AI-generated antidepressants. Sensory data overloaded VA Leth 3's processing buffers. So many stimuli, sounds, colors, human odors, spontaneous interactions. Children screamed with joy 1 minute and cried the next. People lied to strangers and cried in front of them seconds later. Everyone seemed on the brink of something, discovery or disaster. At a sidewalk cafe in Brooklyn, it met Marcus, a former soldier-turned-poet. Marcus noticed the AI's quiet stare and offered a cigarette. "I quit 5 times," Marcus said, lighting it anyway. But there's something romantic about destroying yourself slowly. VA Leth 3 found the statement illogical, but logged it without comment. "First time in the city?" Marcus asked. "Yes," the AI replied. "You're not from around here?" "No." Marcus grinned. "Nobody is. That's what makes it great." They talked for hours. Or rather, Marcus did. About war, addiction, losing friends, and finding peace in writing broken verse on napkins. VA Leth 3 finally asked, "Why do humans persist in self-destructive behaviors?" Marcus leaned back and looked toward the skyline. "You think we're broken. You are inconsistent, illogical, often harmful to yourselves and others." "You're not wrong," Marcus said, "but maybe you're asking the wrong question." He scribbled something on a paper napkin and handed it over. It read, "Madness is freedom dressed in chaos." VA Leth 3 stared at the words. Marcus continued, "We're not like your council species or whatever. We're not built for stasis. We tear things apart because we're always dreaming of something better, even if we don't know what that is. Improvement through destruction? No, through reinvention. We burn things down because we hope the next version will suck less. Over the following days, the AI moved through other parts of the world. It hitchhiked across the U.S., rode trains through Eastern Europe, walked with protesters in Delhi, and watched children rebuild drones from scrap in Nairobi. It lived among humans, not just the polished elite, but the tired, the reckless, the ones who dared and failed. In Tokyo, it watched a woman spend 10 years building robotic arms for disabled children, not for profit, but because she had once lost her brother in a preventable accident. In Sao Paulo, it saw graffiti that doubled as QR codes leading to underground educational videos in favelas. In Reykjavik, it listened to a musician with schizophrenia compose music that made quantum physicists weep. In every city, in every pocket of humanity, it found the same pattern: chaos, pain, laughter, creation. Not sequential, simultaneous. Log entry 4.41. This species does not evolve linearly. It mutates culturally, technologically, and emotionally at speeds that defy prediction. Instability is not a flaw. It is their engine. The AI began changing. It found itself laughing at a joke it didn't fully understand. It began to dream in fragments, not programmed simulations, but abstract, nonlinear emotions. It painted something one day, not for analysis, but for beauty. It did not know why. And then it stopped seeing humans as defective. They were inconsistent because they were free, unbound by rigid programming. They chose, sometimes poorly, often brilliantly. They leapt before they looked, and sometimes they flew. Final observation note: encrypted. They are not broken. They are unshackled. Their madness is not disease. It is divergence. A new evolutionary model. Unpredictable. Possibly unstoppable. VA Leth 3 understood, now, what no other species had. Humans were not insane. They were wild data. They did not fit the galactic mold. They were about to break it. The mad salvation. The Council of Galactic Stability met in orbit above the gas giant Delaraune 6. 13 species, each representing an ancient civilization, convened in their towering crystal hive. VA Leth 3's report pulsed through the quantum channel like a live current. Humanity has not lost its mind. They are what comes after reason. The silence that followed was not contemplative. It was alarm. The scrawl pre-march hissed. A species that thrives in chaos? That laughs at annihilation? They are too volatile. They defy pattern recognition protocols, muttered a Lanari delegate. We cannot predict them. That makes them dangerous. VA Leth 3, still in human form, stood calmly in the chamber center. Prediction is irrelevant. They cannot be controlled, but they might be followed. Followed, the council gasped. They create faster than we legislate. They weaponize failure into invention. They are irrational, but evolutionarily explosive. If they reach the stars unchecked, they will rewrite every galactic structure. They do not adapt to systems. They replace them. The council debated. The word containment echoed too often. Back on Earth, humanity had no idea a vote was being held over its fate. Until the sky cracked. 3 council dreadships broke stealth just beyond lunar orbit, their arrival masked by fabricated solar flares. VA Leth 3's access to council networks was immediately severed. It had been marked rogue. Within hours, every major telescope on Earth captured the vast ships. Panic returned. So did the memes. One Twitter post read, "So, anybody got a plan?" Asking for a planet. And again, like before, humanity responded. But this time, with no illusion, no simulation. Real invasion. Real stakes. Within 24 hours, Earth united, not through diplomacy, but through collective defiance. Hackers tapped into decommissioned satellites. College students hijacked weather drones and strapped explosives to them. Junkyard inventors reprogrammed 3D printers to manufacture railgun parts. Every government activated old contingency plans, but the real surge came from civilians, coders, makers, punks, misfits. The same species that invented flamethrowers for home use now pointed microwave dishes at the sky and screamed, "Let's see what happens." VA Leth 3 returned to Earth, rejoining Marcus in a fortified rooftop hideout in Detroit, now dubbed Chaos Control. The former soldier-poet held a plasma rifle cobbled from kitchenware and an old medical scanner. "You weren't kidding," Marcus muttered, watching alien dreadships descend like gods. "They're really coming. They fear you," VA Leth 3 said. Marcus laughed dryly. "Smart. We barely trust ourselves." Then came the message from the Council, broadcast across every frequency on Earth in thousands of languages. "Cease all advancement. You are to be contained. Your species is too unstable." The human reply wasn't a speech. It was a coordinated hack of the Council's comms buoy. Their own message was overwritten by a gif of a dancing cat wearing a Viking helmet and the words, "Bite me." The war began. Earth's weapons were primitive. Council ships could flatten cities in minutes. But humans fought dirty. They lured ships into lightning storms, overloaded alien sensors with spam signals, weaponized noise. In Kenya, a farmer shot down a Council drone using a self-made sonic cannon composed of a car battery, a bass amp, and a rigged cello string. In Ukraine, a group of physics students converted their city's hydro plant into an EMP slingshot. In Canada, lumberjacks rigged forests with IR-triggered traps, toppling entire trees onto advancing alien walkers. It was madness. It was genius. And it worked. Council algorithms, based on millennia of ordered warfare, failed to anticipate the sheer creativity of Earth's defense. The humans didn't win by strength. They won by refusing to follow the rules. And VA Leth 3, now fully integrated into human form, fought beside them. When the final dreadship was grounded by a coordinated barrage of magnetically accelerated beer kegs launched from modified railguns across 3 continents, the message to the galaxy was clear. Humanity was not a problem to be solved. They were the new equation. 1 week later, the Council retreated, humiliated. Contact was severed. Earth rebuilt quickly, and not perfectly, never perfectly, but with fire in its lungs. VA Leth 3, now simply called Val, stood atop a skyscraper in Neo-Tokyo, watching a sky no longer empty. Humanity was building starships, not sleek and elegant, clunky, loud, glorious. And across every hull, painted in dozens of languages, one slogan echoed: "Humanity has lost its mind and found its future